Hisoka Moro is a hunter and former member number 4 of the Phantom Troop, his physical strength ranked 3rd in the group. He is always in search for strong opponents, and would spare those who have great potential, such as Gon and Killua, in order for them to get strong enough to actually challenge him. He originally served as the primary antagonist of the Hunter exam and the Heavens Arena, before becoming a supporting character during the York New City and Greed Island. During the 13th Hunter Chairman election, he reprises his role as a secondary antagonist. Hisoka's appearance is similar to that of a magician or jester. He is tall and has light skin and a very muscular physique. His attire is usually adorned with various suit symbols on the front and back torso, and he changes outfits in each story arc. He wears face paint of a star on his right cheek and a teardrop on his left cheek, and like his attire, in the 2011 anime, his face paint also occasionally changes colors. During the Greed Island, Hisoka wears the Greed Island ring on his left middle finger. And in the 13th Hunter Chairman election, Hisoka wears a pair of earrings with ornamental hearts. For unknown reasons, Hisoka has long, pointed nails, giving his hands a claw-like appearance, hinting at his sinister nature. In his first appearance in the 1999 anime series, Hisoka's hair is blue. After a revamp of the show, it was replaced with a red or almost neon pink color to be in accordance with the manga. In the 2011 anime, Hisoka has red hair and light amber eyes. In the manga, during the York New, Hisoka dyes his hair light green. These dynamic variations in appearance illustrate the complexity of his character. During his time in the Black Whale, he lets his hair down and wear a black coat with a heart shape at the back. Hisoka is portrayed as entirely self-serving, self-absorbed, and selfish. He does whatever he likes as long as it pleases him in some way. His insatiable love for spilling the blood of powerful fighters in combat and his enjoyment of extreme pain while doing so fuels his seemingly sadomasochistic desires. In order for them to grow to their full potential, so as to improve the pleasure of killing them later, Hisoka allows the main protagonists to live in situations wherein he is easily able to kill them. Likewise, he grows excited to meet new people he deems worthy of fighting or anyone with the potential to be a good fighter and entertain him in the future. The thrill of fighting strong users in tactical battles and near-death experiences is an orgasmic experience for him. It is likely one of the reasons why he goes out of his way to find new toys to play with. If they break, he either loses interest or kills them before going out to find more potential prey. With his manipulative and self-centered nature, Hisoka is essentially a murderous sociopath. While he does like Gon, Killua, and many others, he has stated that for him, what is valuable one day could easily become trash the next, and he will not hesitate to kill anyone should they not meet his standards. He does not care for what has happened in the past, as he is only interested in what could be amusing to him in the future or present. While Hisoka's nature tends to be malevolent, he isn't an indiscriminate killer. He has no problems killing anyone regardless of age or sex. However, he only kills people who are in his way or those he deems worthy. As such, his character is more simply amoral than flat-out evil. He even assists the protagonists if there is fun in doing so or if it will make them stronger, leading to a more entertaining fight in the future. Above all else, Hisoka cares only about having fun and a good challenge which may or may not involve killing people. He has a nasty habit of skipping out on spider meetings. He also can be a whimsical liar and has a tendency to freak out or play cruel jokes on his victims. Just witnessing their uncomfortable expressions because of him getting under their skin pleases him. His chaotic nature is inherent in everything he does and makes him dangerously unpredictable. Hisoka has displayed a morbid attraction to fight powerful fighters, or people with nen who have the potential to become strong, which is expressed through barely repressible murderous tendencies. Neither age nor gender do seem to influence his desire to fight them. He has expressed a desire to fight or kill random victims just to satiate his bloodlust. After his defeat at the hands of Krallo, Hisoka's sociopathic nature has taken itself to worse heights by vowing to kill all the members of the Phantom Troop even if they were defenseless, and claiming he will no longer let his opponents fight in their preferred conditions. However, he did temporarily spare Maki, who has been an implied interest of Hisoka's as a potential opponent he likes to flirt with or as a romantic interest, although he stated it was so she could warn the troop of his intentions. Hisoka often exhibits androgynous characteristics throughout the series, manifested in his wearing of women's shoes and using an alluring speech style typically reserved for females in Japanese. In the manga, he ends nearly every sentence with a suit symbol. Despite his calm and composed personality, he can express his emotion comically in some situations. An example is when Gon becomes honest and rather innocent about his question of why Hisoka was in Greed Island. Another example is his stunned face when he learns he could not fight Chrollo after Kurapika's judgment chain. Equipment. Playing cards. Hisoka's weapon of choice is a set of ordinary French playing cards, which he uses in combat to lethal effects by wielding or throwing them in conjunction with the shoe. The cards have white borders, with a checkered pattern composed by small, light and dark fuchsia squares. Abilities and powers. Hisoka has all the benefits granted by his status as a hunter. Notorious for his graceful, cruel, and deceitful fighting ability, which has earned him the rank of floor master, he has proven to be a deadly adversary. His tremendous physical abilities and combat skill make him extremely dangerous in a bout, and his expertise in nen, tactical genius, and flexibility allow him to swiftly adapt to changes in circumstances. Among the opponents he has defeated are previous number 4 member of the Phantom Troop and the single-star Blacklist hunter Bushidoara, killing the latter without suffering any injury himself. He has expressed dissatisfaction with the power level of most pro hunters, which led him to consider fighting the Zodiacs to find a new challenge, and in fact, he was able to effortlessly dispatch multiple hunters in a short span of time. The Lumi Zoldyck, who was estimated by the magician to be even more formidable than some Zodiacs, was wary of crossing Hisoka, and even the leader of the infamous Phantom Troop deemed it prudent to prepare a strategy and gather nen abilities before facing him to ensure his victory, declaring Hisoka set a new record for the number of abilities he ever needed to kill someone. Hisoka is also a skilled magician and often uses nen to perform his tricks. His skills in misdirection and amazing dexterity find applications in combat, their combination allowing him to triumph against Castro. The latter talent also enabled him to catch Togari's spinning knives on the first try, whereas their owner required 6 months to do so. Furthermore, Hisoka has a certain degree of informatic proficiency, which he used to track Gon and Killua down after they bought blimp tickets online. By forming a circle with his index finger and thumb and peeking through it, he can enhance his vision. It is unknown if this technique is achieved with nen, or if Hisoka can merely improve his eyesight by concentrating. Hisoka's zest for battle often causes him to suffer more damage than he would if he fought seriously from the start. In fact, his willingness to let Chrollo pick the location and time of their showdown, as well as to adapt to his pace in its early stages, nearly led to his demise. Preternatural perception. Hisoka has proven to be able to sense not only the presence, but also the position of people hidden with Zetsu, even Kaluto's, whose execution of the technique was described as flawless. In response to Nobunaga's befuddlement, Hisoka attributed his feat to the lingering sensitivity from the competition against Razor. His ability to gauge an individual talent and raw power is so refined that he has been able to create a point-based system to quantify them. Although he generally glances at someone to determine their strength, he ranked Illumi without even seeing or recognizing him beforehand. Nonetheless, he was unable to notice that Gon was tailing him during the hunter exam even before lapsing into a murder frenzy, due to the boy being in a state of Zetsu and possibly because he was not particularly hostile towards him until the moment he made his move when Hisoka's own bloodlust masked his immense strength. Hisoka boasts astounding brawn, ranking 3rd in the Phantom Troop in arm wrestling. When one of his kicks missed Gon, he sent a flagstone of the ring crashing explosively into the audience stands. He can effortlessly lift 5 human puppets with one hand and swing them around with enough force to destroy them and all other bodies they come in contact with, and instantly twist off a human head with a single hand. In the dodgeball game, Hisoka was able to throw the ball with such force that Razor's nen puppets were forced to combine to block it, despite them being capable of redirecting Razor's passes which, after their power waned, retained enough momentum to incapacitate Sesgera. He was also able to withstand the force of the ball launched by Gon with rock and returned by Razor while catching it with bungee gum. Enhanced speed and reflexes. During the hunter exam, Hisoka dispatched dozens of applicants in seconds, and disappeared from Leorio's and, more remarkably, Gon's sight at close quarters. He offered further proof of his swiftness against multiple foes when he fended off the throng of puppets sent after him by Chrollo. When he fought the boy at the Heavens Arena, he could move so quickly that Gon was unable to get his body to react in time. He avoided all of Castro's strikes while the latter was not using his double, and even after he lost both arms the clone was unable to land a single hit on him when it attacked by itself. he has demonstrated to be as reactive to projectiles when he effortlessly grabbed a pair of spinning knives thrown at him by a hunter, caught Goto's bullet-fast coins with bungee gum, dodged a shot ball thrown by Razor and succeeded in blocking it when it was redirected moments afterward. Enhanced agility. Hisoka is fairly acrobatic, a skill which he uses to recover his balance and respond to attacks quickly. He can defend even from disadvantageous positions without losing his balance. Enhanced stamina. Hisoka was able to complete a long-distance run more than 80 kilometers long, and taking place on uneven terrains such as ascending stairs and a swamp, without breaking a sweat. He did not show the slightest sign of physical or mental exhaustion after his fight against Castro, the dodgeball match against Razor, or at any point during his taxing showdown against Crawlo. Immense endurance. Hisoka appears to be impervious to pain. He was only momentarily stunned when Castro and Crawlo landed critical blows on him. He was unaffected by breaking 10 fingers and, more impressively, by having one hand and one foot blown off or by the loss of 2 arms, to the point he stuck his fingers in his open wound to retrieve a card. However, his high threshold can backfire, as he failed to notice one of his legs was maimed in his fight against Crawlo. Genius-level intellect. Hisoka is an expert tactician and schemer with excellent analytical abilities. Though at great personal risk, he succeeded in manipulating the spiders into staying in York New so he could fight Crawlo, and to forge a fake prophecy, minutes if not seconds, after receiving the original, perfectly replicating its style. While on Greed Island he managed to trick Killua, although both he and Biscuit remained suspicious of him. His aptitude at reading others' character and at finding common traits allowed him to create a personality-based system to determine Nen types, and, although he admits it is unreliable, he has been correct every time he was seen resorting to it. Master Strategist. Hisoka is an exceptional strategist who can formulate winning plans at the very start of a confrontation. He frequently puts up an outlandish or even arrogant act to fool his opponents into believing he is being careless, whereas, in reality, he is laying traps. He excels not only at planning ahead, but also at picking apart enemy strategies, compiling all the available information, and coming up with multiple hypotheses in mere seconds and in the heat of battle, as well as rapidly adapting to new developments. Master hand-to-hand combatant. Hisoka is a force to be reckoned with at close range, even without his cards or bungee gum. Cherry, whom Tanpa regarded as the most skilled unarmed combatant in the 287th Hunter exam, acknowledged the enormous gap in technique between the two of them, and he easily dodged every attack from Gas. He single-handedly outmatched Gon in close-quarters combat and repelled all of his offensives without moving from his spot until the boy resorted to a diversion. Even after the loss of both arms, he avoided every strike of Castro's double while casually talking to the ability user and throwing glances in his direction, and despite Castro being a martial artist reputed to be on par with a floor master. Hisoka has also proven time and time again to be capable of fighting back whole crowds. Master Weapon Specialist. With the aid of Shu, Hisoka can turn his cards into mortal edge weapons or projectiles. He employs them to instantly kill the opponent by targeting their vital spots, generally the throat, but also to incapacitate them by severing their tendons. While wielding one with only 2 fingers, he can sever an adult man's arms in one motion. He can throw them with deadly accuracy and speed, and also incorporate them in surprise attacks with bungee gum. He also displayed proficiency with flail-like weapons by swinging an aura-coated human head connected to his hand via his elastic aura, as well as with knives. Master of Stealth. Hisoka managed to spy on Killua undetected by him as well as, seemingly, Amain and Tsubone. He assisted Illumi without being discovered by the Hunter Association and seemingly killed Terradine while the latter was at his desk. Expert in tailing, Hisoka followed Gon and Killua twice without them noticing, eluding Pakunada's detection the second time around as well. Nen. Hisoka is a transmuter endowed with a powerful, sinister aura that disquieted Wing and Gon even after the latter learned Nen. He manifests his high level of proficiency in his natural category primarily through his Nen ability, bungee gum, but he has also shown to be very proficient at controlling the shape of his aura, which is a transmutation skill. This aptitude may be what allows him to extend strands of elastic aura over distances of several meters without flinging them, which makes its application more subtle. He is also well versed in conjuration, the Nen type of his second ability, as well as emission and, seemingly, enhancement. He utilizes the former to maintain aura around projectiles as well as in conjunction with bungee gum, to separate the ability from his body. his affinity for enhancement manifests primarily as a remarkable level of durability. Hisoka survived multiple Nen-enhanced strikes from Castro, an enhancer, without using his aura to defend. Although he was briefly stunned, Hisoka took no visible damage from most of Crawlo's attacks, one of which can allegedly behead a person with a knife hand strike, despite Hisoka having been unable to predict them and thus to guard properly. He seems to have resorted to manipulation on one occasion, exploiting the boost enjoyed by Nen after death to impart an automatic command to his bungee gum. Aside from Hatsu, Hisoka is capable of using at least Rin, Gyo, and Ken, which allowed him to survive multiple explosions of the sun and moon set off in his proximity, although one of his legs was severely mangled. Like many other high-level Nen users, he can maintain a state of 10 at all times. It is also likely that he is proficient at Zetsu and Ko. The two techniques he employs with the greatest frequency are Shu and especially Ien. With Shu, his poker cards can easily cut through bone and concrete even while he is not holding them. When he applied it to a severed human head, it carried so much force that it pulverized other heads it came in contact with, incapacitated several puppets with a single throw, and injured a Nen user of Crawlo Lucifer's caliber without being damaged in the least, whereas it would break immediately if not enveloped in aura. If Hisoka favors Shu for direct attacks, and is at the core of his strategies, as he combines the technique with bungee gum to lay elaborate, deadly traps. Hisoka's Nen prowess, if further supported by his knowledge of more abstract notions, such as Nen becoming stronger after death and exorcism. He also came up with the concept of memory overload and a system to divine an individual's Nen type from their personality, which, despite him calling it unreliable, has proven correct several times.